Hello and welcome everyone. It is Thursday, March 7th, 2019. Yesterday was New Comic Book Day, best day of the week, so that means it is time for another new comic haul video. Got some more good stuff out this week. Had a hidden variant in there, some first appearances, all good. We're going to get into it in a second. Thank you again to all my subscribers. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos and send me comments. I love hearing from everybody. I haven't been able to answer everybody, been really busy with work, but I have some time this morning. I want to put out this video. So thank you so much, everybody. Because of you, my channel's growing, so I really appreciate it. No comic shop shout out today. I just forgot to look it up, so my next video I'll do one. I'm going to plan on today I'm going to run through my books I picked up yesterday. I'll talk about some of them, and just be advised there are some definite spoilers in some of these books, so I'll try to remind you before I open up and show you some images, but just be aware of that going through anyways. And I'm only going to talk about a few books coming down the road at the end of this video. Normally I'll run through a few of them. I got I think 4 or 5, but I plan on doing my down the road video this coming weekend. I'll put that out, and I don't want to repeat everything, so I'm just going to do a couple today. So we'll get into it. We'll start with my independents. I only grabbed one. It was Obey Me from Dynamite, number 0, and it's actually pretty good. And I wanted to get Fart Night. My shop didn't have it. He's got one on order for me, so I hope to get it the next little bit. But if you didn't read this this book, it's actually kind of good. It's kind of funny. It's got this this girl and her dog, and they're going around collecting souls and stuff. But this dog drops the F-bomb like pretty much every panel. But there's this one scene where they're fighting, and the dog, she cuts the head off this guy, and the dog's holding the guy's head in its mouth. It's just kind of funny. And this dog, like I say, the dog's dropping F-bombs all over the place in this book, so it's definitely not a, don't buy that one for your kids if you got young kids. But it's pretty good. I'm going to keep going with that one. I like it. It was kind of a fun read, and I like some of these independent books, so that's the only one I got. From independents, from DC, grabbed a few from them. I grabbed Curse of Brimstone number 12. It's the final issue in that series. I bought the first, oh geez, I want to say 3, 4, 5 issues, something like that, and then I dropped it. And I got that really nice foil. There was a gorgeous foil cover. I think that was number 7. And this one is the first full appearance of this character called Infernal. He shows up in here, so I figured, yeah, you know what, it's the last issue, and you know, it's got that character, so I picked it up, and I'll just show a couple images of this character because he's, you know, he's kind of a cool looking character. That's the opening page there. You got him. Funny thing is, right on the last, like I say, I haven't been reading this all the way through, but on the last page, you got Brimstone. He's, you know, hugging his girlfriend or wife or whatever she is, and he's saying, oh, I feel the curse is, you know, it's leaving my body, it's gone, it's great. And then all of a sudden she turns on fire, and on the last page she's now got the Curse of Brimstone. So I don't know, are they going to continue on with her as the character, or cross her over into something else? But that's technically kind of a first appearance of her, so that's pretty cool. So, and she looks awesome. I love the look of that series. I don't know, I couldn't get into it for whatever reason, but anyways, picked that one up. I thought it was a good one. I like the cover on it too. Picked up my Doomsday Clock number 9. I haven't read it yet. That's one I like to sit down when I have some time and read through it. Picked up Green Arrow number 50. That's the final issue in that. It's an oversized issue. And then, you know, spoiler alert in this one, I mentioned that he was given that that box by the Martian Manhunter, and of course he opens it up in here. So yeah, I'm going to show some images, and sure as shit the box is empty. I said to somebody, maybe it's got a box of chocolates in there or something, but so anyways, he gets all dressed up. He walks away, and then the box starts glowing green. So obviously there's some kind of power or something immersed in the box. I'm thinking it's the Immortal Hulk is in the box. No, I'm kidding. So obviously it's a DC comic, but yeah, there's some power or something in that box, so we'll find out down the road what it is. But not as much happened in that as I thought, but hey, what are you going to do? You can only go by the solicitations, and I still grabbed it. It's final issue, so it's kind of a cool one to have. I wasn't ever a huge Green Arrow fan. I don't know if many people are, but I don't know. Some of the stories are good, but anyways. And then I grabbed a couple copies of Justice League number 19. This one has, they go off into this different dimension, and this Mr. whatever, that weird looking dude, he reminds me of the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. He shows up, and this you know, Mr. McZipdelic, or whatever the hell you pronounce his name, he's a creepy looking dude. And his Bizarro, whenever he shows up, things are bizarre. But there's one cool page here where they show, talks about the sixth dimension. And man, does Perpetua look badass. Like, I can't wait for her to actually show up and be part of this storyline. I know, like in here, there's a panel right before that where she's in her, you know, you always see her in this cage, but she looks so badass. And that DC Villains 25-cent comic that's coming out this summer, that'll probably be launching her into, you know, the mainstream and everything. But there is this new Superman that shows up. Again, spoiler alert, a lot of you probably aware of this. He's kind of comes through this because that Mr. McZipdel, whatever his name is, creates this portal and Superman goes through into it. And then this guy emerges from it. But I don't know if that's the real Superman or not, because right at the end you find out it looks like Superman's trapped on this planet kind of thing. So I guess we'll find out where it goes, but it's interesting. Been enjoying Justice League. Like I say, I really like where they're going with it. I like the fact, you know, what's that dark, that I've said it a few times, that whole dark metal with the source wall break just opened up so many different avenues and worlds and characters and everything else. So that is it for my DC. I didn't grab a lot from them. For Marvel, I grabbed Avengers No Road Home number 4. This one's the origin to Nyx, the goddess of night, and it's a decent issue. The funny thing is, okay, so I don't know about you guys, but it says, in the beginning there was darkness, a silent dream, in such stillness I was born before the light. That sounds like Null almost had the exact same beginning. You know, he was born in the darkness, then the Celestials came, and, or was it the Celestials? Yeah, the Celestials came and they kind of started creating planets and light and everything else. He got all pissed off and started warring with all the gods. And it's funny because her beginning is almost exactly the same as his. He starts warring, or she starts warring with Zeus and all the Greek gods. But is she potentially the wife of Null, or the queen of Null? That would be a really cool backstory if we find that out. So anyways, just kind of cool, because like I say, her beginning is all mirrors almost to a T what Null's was. So just really interesting. Just a theory, throwing that out there. Picked up Hot Shots number 1. It's the first full team appearance of that new team, and they're on the cover too, so that's a good one. I picked up Avengers number 16. Again, that war with the vampires is continuing, and Dracula's in there, and Blade makes an appearance and starts kicking some ass, so it's all good. Picked up Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History number 1. I got cover A, and then I did get the 1 for 10, which I wanted. That's that homage to the Fantastic Four 49. I really like that cover. That's one of my favorite covers of all time, actually. But it was okay, but it just, I don't know, I didn't think it was great. I'll keep going with it for now, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. Got Conan number 4, cover A, and then that really nice Red Goblin cover B. That Mark Brooks cover. Boy, is that a nice cover. I love that one. I showed that image on my Instagram a while back, and it's just a beautiful cover. And I really, you know, when you start seeing people showing up on covers, I know it's just a villain's cover and everything, but the Red Goblin, I've said it a couple times, he's going to be coming back at some point, and most likely in this big, Donny Cates and Stegman are doing that symbiote storyline in the summer, and I wouldn't doubt that he's coming back, because it'll roughly be about a year since he's been around. So picked up my Ziggy Pig Silly Seal. I was able to get the Shit Creek limited, the hidden variant. That was out this week. So if you're able to find those at your shop, try to get them for cover. don't over. I mean, some shops are jacking the price up to $30-$40. People are saying. And a funny story, I saw this on Key Collector Comics app. I got to give him a shout out. I gave him a shout out on my post too. He was kind of the one that I got the info from. I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Because before there has been chatter late or on the weekend last week that there was going to be a hidden variant this week, and people are saying, hey Jim, what do you think it's going to be? And I'm like, well, it'll probably be Avengers No Road Home or the new Scrolls series that came out. I didn't grab a copy of that, by the way. I'm kicking myself. I gotta get a copy. But anyways, so I'm thinking it's one of those, and then I found it was this one. I'm like, my reaction was, oh, okay. And then I posted this on Instagram, and the reactions I got were so funny. Of people, it's all obviously text messages and stuff, but if people were talking to me, they'd be the same way. Oh well. It was just so funny. Yeah, it was just kind of a total letdown for some people, but I thought it was kind of cool because, you know what, it's one of those characters. These guys were around and originally kind of in the 40s. Then they died off, and then they've made appearances here and there in comics over the years. So it's not like their first appearance or anything, but it is kind of cool to see characters from the 40s coming back. And I was glad to get that one. I got it for cover price, so I can't complain. A good one this week. I mentioned this one last week and on Instagram. It's your first appearance of Good Night. He's on the cover, and his full appearance in the book. He did have kind of a cameo. I showed it in my last video. He has a cameo right at the back of Deadpool #1. And the whole storyline is Deadpool kills his parents, much the same way Batman's parents were killed, walking down an alley and stuff. And of course, it's kind of a play on Batman, because instead of the Dark Knight, he's Good Night. And there's a bunch of images in here, which I'll show you. So again, kind of spoiler alert, that remind you so much of Batman. You got this one scene where he's breaking, the back of Deadpool over his knee, much like Bane did to Batman. I think it was 498, the cover, if I remember right, Batman 498. So it's kind of that image, and then even the cowl, it looks like Batman with the cowl and everything. I mean, geez, is that not an image of Batman right there? So it's a total play on Batman, the Good Knight instead of the Dark Knight. But it's a good book to get. I mean, the solicitations, I think, show that he's supposed to be killed off down the road. But like so many times in comics, nobody ever stays dead forever. So that's definitely a good one to get. Oh, and talking about Ziggy Pig, Silly Seal, forgot to mention this one. This is Deadpool #8 that Ziggy Pig made an appearance in there just before that. That was a couple, geez, when was that? A month ago, something like that. Anyways, but Deadpool's a good one to get. Prices really jumped on that one too. So, and my absolute pick of the week this week is Immortal Hulk #14. This was my pick on Key Collector too, my contribution to that app. And man, I am going to show some images in here and talk about this. So total spoiler alert, if you haven't read it, you might want to turn this off now and come back in a bit, because I'm going to talk quite a bit about this. There's so much stuff that goes on in this book that you really gotta, if you just flip through it, you're like, oh, whatever. It's about him, Banner and Betty Ross and everything. But the cover alone, you've got the two of them with obviously the bomb going off in the background and the Hulk. So it's like, well, what does that represent? But anyways, we'll get into it right off the bat. You got a funeral with Thunderbolt Ross. It's his third time he's been killed, and it's interesting that you got Iron Man showing up. Like, that's kind of I'll get to that in a second. So why is Captain America wasn't there for the funeral, for the eulogy, but they got they got Iron Man. Like, that's weird. You got to pay attention to what Al Ewing's doing when he's writing. And then you get this page. You get this one page where you've got kind of the secret lab somewhere. It's called it's different than Shadow Base. So, little present from our friends in government. The last remains of what are we calling him now? Subject B. The contact said we shouldn't reach out to him again, though. So, I'm not surprised. That thing with Stearns and Cortez cost us a lot of goodwill. So this is where you got to pay attention. Besides, the whole point of Shadow Base moving to the secondary site was to sever ties, maximum deniability. How much is in there? Looks like about 100 pounds, not much. Well, apparently the rest of it is orbiting Jupiter after the last attempt to rebuild him. So who's orbiting Jupiter? Well, Iron Man took the remains of Abomination and spread them around Jupiter. So they're like, huh, that's kind of... So what are they doing? Are they resurrecting Abomination? Because this, to me, looks like you've got Abomination's part of his body laying on the table in a skeleton, you know, almost like a mummified state. So what is this? Is this... Did they go and dig up Del Fry from the mountain where the Hulk buried him and secretly do that? And are they using Del Fry, or not Del Fry, Dr. Fry, who was buried in the mountain? Del Fry's still in that stasis chamber, so I don't know. Potentially they're using either Dr. Fry, who was buried in the mountain, or Del Fry, who's in that stasis chamber, to resurrect Abomination, or I don't know but something's coming. There's definitely a monster coming down the road in this Mortal Hulk. So that's one thing. And then if you read it, so Bruce Banner meets up with Betty, and they're, you know, hanging out at this cabin. And then you got Bushwhacker, who's got him, you know, in his sights, and he's told not to shoot, don't shoot. And of course, what does he do? He takes a shot thinking it's Bruce Banner, but he kills Betty, pops her right in the head, and she's dead on the ground. And of course, you know, Bruce turns into the Hulk and goes batshit crazy. But the interesting thing is this one of them scene. So you've got, so unless the sun's up, he doesn't die. None of them die. So now, and then her eyes start glowing red. So there's a few thoughts going around that I think she's going to come back as the immortal Red She-Hulk. Because, you know, she's been the Red She-Hulk in the past, but it's, you know, it's a pretty good story. So, and then of course Dr. Samson shows up at the end. So I want to talk about, so this is where we get into a little bit of speculation. Hulk, there's some people are thinking she's going to come back as Harpy. There's an image on the screen of Hulk 168. That was the first appearance of Betty Ross as Harpy. I disagree with that. I think she's coming back as the immortal Red She-Hulk, not just the Red She-Hulk. I think she will be the immortal Red She-Hulk. So it'll technically, kind of like the Immortal Hulk was a new appearance in 682 and 684. I think one of these next upcoming issues is going to be a really big one. So Hulk, for that, Hulk 15 from 2008 was her first appearance as the Red She-Hulk. That is a good comic to get. I don't have that one, but I have bought one and ordered one, so that's on the way. And another really good one is Hulk #1 from 2008, because that's the first appearance of the Red Hulk. And that book has so much stuff going on it. It's your first appearance of General Ross, obviously, as the Red Hulk. It's got a bunch of characters from the Winter Guard. It's their first appearance, the Red Guardian, Dark Star, Crimson Dynamo. And it's also the death of the Abomination, the Red Hulk. At the beginning, you see the Red Hulk. Well, you see a Hulk fighting with Abomination at nighttime, and you know, initially you think it's just the Hulk, but it actually is the Red Hulk. And he shoots him with this gun that was created. So, and that obviously ties into the Abomination by looks of it being regenerated in this issue. So, boy, there's so much stuff. Al Ewing, man, I love you, man. You're creating an awesome, awesome series. So, yeah, so this issue is just crazy. There's just so, it doesn't look like it on the surface, but when you dig into it, there is so much going on. Because you like say, you got Dr. Samson shows up on the last page, and he's in the next issue. Betty Ross is killed, and her eyes start glowing red. Now, I think she's going to become the immortal Red She-Hulk, like I was saying. So that, boy, keep going with this series. And the reason for that, the reason I think it's that and not Harpy, the solicitation for Hulk #17, I'm going to put that on the screen. And if you read what it says, Bruce Banner's trapped inside Shadow-based Site A, powerless and hunted by their top assassin, who I think is that Bushwhacker dude, because the Shadow kind of looks similar to him. And then what he says, he can't run forever, he can't change form, he can't survive without the immortal Hulk, but not the one you think. So I'm thinking what's happening prior to number 17, either the next issue or 16, you're going to get the immortal Red She-Hulk showing up. And that's obvious. You know, Betty Ross is obviously the love of his life and everything. So I somewhere in there she's going to show. That's my opinion, anyways. I really think that Hulk number 15, that first appearance of Red She-Hulk, is a book you're really going to want to get. Also, that Hulk number 1 with the Red Hulk, because you never know, he may be coming back too. It may not be Abomination. Maybe they're doing something with him. I don't know. But anyways, that is it this week, folks. There's a couple books you're going to want to get as far as spec books on for man, this Hulk. If you aren't buying the Hulk, boy, it's like Venom. I don't know why you're buying comics, but a couple things coming down the road. Like I say, I'm doing my down the road video this weekend, so I'm only going to touch on a few of them. Batman Beyond 31. There is a mysterious new villain called the Split showing up, and that is coming out April 24th. That looks interesting. I've been enjoying I haven't bought every issue of Batman Beyond, but trying to pick it up. That looks really good. Detective Comics 1004, that comes out May 22nd. That it looks like the person behind the mask of Arkham Knight is revealed, so you find out who Arkham Knight is. Sounds like it's going to be somebody different than in the original comics, so that'll be a good one. Aquaman 48, Mother Shark shows up, and man, I love Jaws. Scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, and I love that cover, so I just had to show it. That's May 15th. Teen Titans 30, this one sounds really interesting because that comes out May 15th. It's the first meeting between Lobo and Crush, so obviously meeting between father and daughter. You kind of got the origin story of Crush, how she crashed to the planet, much like Superman did with her chain and everything back quite a few issues ago. But this one will be the first meeting between Lobo and Crush, so that's going to be interesting. And I just talked about Immortal Hulk 17. This whole run of Immortal Hulk, boy, just keep going with it because there is so much stuff coming up, and it's well written, and it is a great story. You got gorgeous Alex Ross covers. Oh, you just can't go wrong with it. Love it. That is it this week, folks. I will talk to you in a few days. I'll put my top picks video out as well as my down the road video this coming weekend. So take care, everyone. Happy hunting. Hope you got some of those books. Take care for now. Bye.